Hello, happy new moon in Capricorn. Oh my goodness. And yeah, happy 2022. If you didn't catch my New Year's Day reading, this is the first new moon of 2022, and it's powerful and in the Capricornian flavor, which I love. And there's a few things that I'd like to share as energetic messages before I flip over the cards, because yeah, there's things that this new moon energy is really inviting us in to do, because there's a real opportunity energetically here to shift things into a different gear, and for it to take for it to find a groove, for it to take root, for it to, whatever kind of analogy you'd like to insert there, about being able to shift into new gear, gain some traction. Yeah, that's the one that I was really hearing when I was tuning the cards. Because there's a real opportunity here at this new moon, and all the heavenly celestial bodies in Capricorn right now. Because, well, off the top of my head, Venus is in Capricorn, and that's going to be a significant energetic flavor that we experience over the next few months. So, yeah. All right. The first thing that I'd like to share with you is the image that I received when asking permission to link to this energy. And it was just like a satchel of gold pentacles falling onto a wooden table, and it was slow motion. And I could kind of see them hitting the table. I could hear it too. I could hear the sound of a satchel, a little pouch of coins hitting a wood table would make. And then I heard the statement, or the question rather. I heard the question, what kind of life are you nurturing? And then I heard the statement, be clear on what you want and how to get it. I feel like those are secret key words for this new moon energy in the new moon in Capricorn, right? It's be clear on what it is and how you're gonna get there. And this push, this flow rather of Capricornian energy is right there for us to work with in achieving what it is that we want, what it is that we've been working really hard at. There's a certain kind of hamster wheel energy that I'm feeling, and then all of a sudden something gains traction. There's a lot of slushy snow in the area in which I live right now, and it's not always something that we get. We get at least we get snow a couple times a year, small amounts. It's usually gone really fast. I live in a temperate rainforest, and I'm watching lots of people kind of get stuck and their wheels spin, and then they gain traction and off they go. So it feels like there's a certain kind of similarity with that energy. So perhaps you've been working on aligning your yourself and your energy in directions that you can sense will support you in feeling more like you, more in your power, more in your groove, your flow. So that again goes back to the question, what kind of life are you nurturing? Be clear on what you want and how to get it. And this Capricorn's gonna figure it, help you out. That's what Capricornian energy does. It sets us up, it supports us. If there is right? Saturn, if there's like a plan, if there's intention and there's discipline, there's a huge amount of energy that comes up to support us in that, especially when it's healthiest for us. And like I said in my TikTok earlier, or did I? Or maybe it was something I just thought. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't, but I'm going to say it here. Really thinking about what warms you, focusing on building things that warm you, create security for you, as well as warm others. So like these are things that like fulfill you, that like really like, okay, it's that sensation of feeling right in, like feeling good in your life, and developing active ways through like discipline and intention, and compassion, and, you know, adaptability. You know, we can really achieve whatever it is that we're putting our mind to, right? And with adaptability, I feel like that's important to speak to, you know, when it comes to Capricorn and Saturn kind of energy, and Saturn being the teacher. There's so many lessons that we learn energetically through Saturn, and that adaptability being a big one, because, you know, things don't always go as planned. And I get the strong sense that, you know, those of you who are watching totally know that, right? And it's like humbling. But then again, connected to the same lesson, because Saturn often comes in layers, is that even when things don't go as planned, it doesn't mean that there's not another way, right? Capricorn's symbol is like the goatfish. So there's multiple elements at play here with the symbol of Capricorn, and how we can learn about the archetype of Capricorn. So the goatfish swims and down to the depth of the ocean, or to any body of water, can navigate any body of water. So our feelings, our emotions, our intuition, it dives deep, and then can pop from the surface of the water and in one fell swoop start climbing up a mountain, and going up sheer like angles and balancing on tiny little cliffs like a goat does, you know, like a mountain goat. So there's so much power with this archetype, and with the new moon being here, as well as a lot of other planets, there's a huge powerful force of energy that we all can utilize in our own individual ways to propel us forward if we are clear on that direction that we want to go, especially when it really like warms you as well as others. You know what I mean? I think you do. So yes, let's flip over these cards and see what's coming up. All right, so I can sense that a lot of you have really been taking some like intentional time off to rest, to recharge. There's a lot of fatigue near the end of the year, or for maybe a while now, and there's such a strong sense within the energy of yearning to go back to like simpler, joyful times, and figuring out that you can do that by yourself, reflecting, meditating, journaling, whatever it is like that you do to tune in with yourself. You realize that you can go back to these places that you've felt that sensation and feel it in your body again, and help that fuel your fire, and inspire you moving forward, to kind of bring that energy into your life moving forward. It's definitely something that I feel like there's a deep reflection like about that, like an out of body experience or something, like, this, like the Scrooge Christmas story or whatever, where like there's all these past, present, all these, getting brought into certain memories, past, present, future. And there's been like big awakenings around that, and around what kind of energy you want to bring out from like your inner child, like how you want to build with your inner child, really bringing your inner child to the table and giving them a permanent seat at the decision-making table. So awesome. So good. It takes a deep, persistent, like shadow work, incorporation of shadow, right? Which is so important for us to do. The shadow is a blessing. It can get easily, clogged up, cluttered, because that's where things go that, we put things where we're not ready to quite address them, or they get stored there, they get caught up there, there's energy snags. On my TikTok, I did a 2-part series on the new moon, just short. And over there, we talked about turning around. There comes a time where we turn around and face certain parts of our pain, and stop talking ourselves out of feeling it. It's switching this narrative and understanding why we would, as individuals, feel about that circumstance or experience in our lives. And then also notice how it's getting in our way, and getting in the way of this like material kind of energetic flow that we're wanting to do, what we're wanting to build, what we're wanting to achieve, and what we're wanting to do. So there's definitely that, it's like that kind of aspect to the new moon energy, again, inviting us into looking at where we get in our own way, and how that is connected to, pain that we experienced in the past, and, how we carry it forward. And now looking at it in a switched perspective to see like, okay, this is outdated now. And these are the important parts of shadow work, and being like, and showing compassion and love to yourself, as to why you needed to protect yourself in that way, or why you adopted this belief, or this limiting way of speaking to yourself, or, the self-doubt, whatever it is, and however this resonates with you. Because there's been a real like deep inventory of what is holding you back, like what is like inhibiting you from moving forward, or what is like snagged and caught as you move forward, rather, because I do see this as like you've been really thinking about the kind of life that you are wanting to nurture. So what that is individually, and I encourage you to write it down, maybe even if you haven't already, and be clear about what you want and how to get it, right? And how you want to get it. Because I can see in your heart position that, you are, this is so shiny, going into your shadow side. And this is a good thing. This is, looking at and giving yourself the room and the time, because I do see a lot of you are really taking time off or taking time out, or like doing something that really facilitates your rest and restoration. That's what I heard, like really being able to recharge and yeah, go into these places that may be outdated and are now getting in your way, as well as the places the inner child takes you in, that those aspects of like, what is that like innocent sense of joy. I think I did a reading that was specifically that. I will try to include it in the description below. I don't know if it was on YouTube or on TikTok, but I'll figure a way to draw your attention over there. But yeah, so because there's just things that are over, there's things that are done, and there's so much light and awareness and focus being brought to those places, so that moving forward you feel more in touch with your magic. Because there's definitely things that you're building. Again, I see you putting your inner child at a permanent, building them a seat at the permanent decision-making table. Love to see it. And I don't know if I fully came through with this thought, but I want to say congratulations for being able to like get to that level, because there's a lot of shadow clearing that needs to happen in order to be like really clear about like giving your inner child a seat at the table and getting back to yourself, essentially, right? Like to get back to your to reconnect with your light. For the New Year's reading, I talked about an image that I was receiving when tapping into the energy of this like golden seed pod, like pushing upwards in this like dark kind of brown background, and there's like sparks flying in and stuff, and it feels like shadow work to me is like a huge way of getting into the shadow and making room for your inner light to shine, because we can't have light without dark and dark without light, and we're all of that, and the more we get in touch with our dynamics and our complexity, the more we can step forward and really share in our authenticity and feel connected to our authenticity and our heart and our place in this life, right? So awesome. It's like there's this energy is like a deep calling and like an urge and a yearning, and it's almost like you are doing this, with such a fervor, yet there seems like there's still almost like a veil over like your ability to actually achieve these things, and trust in that, because like you have achieved so much already. The Six of Wands in your strengths, like that's what's really informing me to stop and really give you a good job as your cosmic auntie here, to giving your inner child a seat at the table and leaning into your shadow side and questioning yourself and in regards to how you're getting in your own way, and then showing up in compassion as to why, because that usually leads to a place where we've felt pain, where there's been need for protection, there's been something that and however, when you get there, you'll notice, and if you resonate with this message, you already know like these are outdated behaviors at this point, but they still need to be honored. They still, by you showing compassion towards them, to show yourself understanding as to why you would feel that way. And I said in my TikTok too, there's so much pressure to kind of like keep on keeping on. Like, yes, we need to put one foot ahead of each other, of one another, and keep moving forward. But there's a pressure to like keep on keeping on, and like not really giving ourselves the room to fully like understand why we felt a certain way. And these are the places that the energy is bringing me to, and giving me a lot of inspiration to talk about. And these are the things that the new moon will be so helpful in like releasing, and then from that release, the path forward and the intentions that you are wanting to set for this moon phase and for this year ahead, and for your future in general. Because it just seems really big. Like it seems like the hamster wheel, and you have not given up. You're like, no, like there's been this fervor, and this new moon is like there to, we're gonna gain traction, and it's gonna be like, all of a sudden we're on that course that we've really been working towards, and that we've really been calling in, that we've been building, that all of it. So please don't forget how far you've come, and please hold your head high going into this next year, because I heard that this is a time to be big. Be big. The time for playing small is in the past, and it might come up time and time again, but the more that you can recognize these parts of yourself, right? The more that we can recognize these parts of ourselves that come up as limiting kind of beliefs or self-doubt, the more that we can be like, hug them and be like, yes, but you don't have really a say here. And this is not going to stop me from going for it. Okay? This is not going to stop you from going for it. Going for the life of your dreams, the Emperor in your advice, creating the life of your dreams, where you feel at ease, where you feel you have a healthy sense of control and creativity, and taking leadership roles in your life, calling the shots in your life, honoring all of your different dynamic energies and boundaries, and looking at what keeps you warm as well as warms others. This is very much Emperor energy, looking at how to create the life of your dreams, as well as how is it going to nurture others as well. Because you and your inner child are up to something, and it's beautiful. It's there's this permission that it's a permission from within, from ourselves, that we're giving ourselves the permission to just unabashedly, wholeheartedly just go for the life of our dreams. That's it. And believe that you can do it. The King of Wands is in your blockages. And you've been working for this in such a fervor and such determination, and it's been tight and intense and shocking, right? With the shadow side being in your heart position. It's looking at those difficult things that keep us bound, that keep us broken, that keep us hiding away, that keep our light sequestered away, because there's been some place where we've had to protect ourselves or learn to do that, or shrink ourselves to keep ourselves safe. And whatever it is, you're releasing yourself from it. You're going straight to the heart. Your inner child is lighting the way, and through rest and restoration, once again, this intense clearing and this joyful rejuvenation and the return of innocent curiosity and joy is really taking form. And this new moon is wants to know it all, what's ended, what's beginning, and the wheel of the year is turning and constantly turning. And the light is coming in, the sun in your present position. It's time for you to shine. Don't dim that shine. And where you catch yourself dimming that shine, ask yourself why. and show up for yourself like a parent. If you're a parent, you would show up to your child, or really any adult. Think about how you would show up for a child when it comes to sharing something that's vulnerable to them as to why they're feeling shy to join in, or something like that, right? Like, oh, why don't you want to join in? Thinking about how you would listen to a child and nurture a child in regards to that is something that's really coming through, and something that will be hopefully helpful to you. Yeah, awesome. There's like such beautiful gifts, and I want to show you this too, because you have the Three of Pentacles in your inner child position, which is like, I just heard me, myself, and I, and also the relationship you have with the earth and the cosmos, and like yourself and community, and the ways that you're the building. But specifically, I see you really building with your inner child. Past, present, future you. That seems to be something that's really important to mention in this reading, is like, I feel like such a reflective energy of past you, present you, and future you, right? Again, what kind of life are you nurturing? Be clear about what you want and how you'd like to get it. Traction is, you're going to gain traction here, and you're going to rocket off in that direction. And again, it's time to shine that light. Like, you've worked so hard to clear the way for it to shine more, and for you to feel more like yourself, and to like just be like unapologetically you. So live it, enjoy it, show up as you, more and more, because we need you. All right, so let's do some oracle. We got Athena, inner wisdom. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. You know what parts resonate, and where you're finding yourself getting in your way, and where you're finding the need to rest and recharge, where you're really working and bringing that inner child energy to the table, and giving it a permanent, giving your inner child a permanent spot at the decision-making table. You know where to go with this new moon energy. Tap into your own inner wisdom and your own inner knowing. Athena can be a really helpful goddess in assisting you with that. So let's just read what Athena has to say. I'm happy to assist you. However, you'll be most thrilled when you first consult your own inner bank of knowledge. For I assure you that the situation is already resolved, and that you have access to all the wisdom that the universe supplies. To access this wisdom, you must quiet your mind. Surrender all worries and other concerns to the loving and almighty power of the universe. Close your eyes and note the thoughts and feelings that come streaming into your consciousness. If you like, you can ask me to give you a signal that you've heard your inner wisdom correctly, but have faith. I assure you that you have heard, and that the guidance brings you, and that loved ones, I assure you that you have heard, and that the guidance brings you and your loved ones very good news indeed. Yes, it feels really, wow, like, again, that traction's being gained, you go in places. Trust in yourself, trust in your own inner knowing. Work with this new moon in Capricorn, right? Like the dark moon, there's a clean slate to set intentions, to plant that seed right down deep into the earth, right, where it's really dark, and then it comes growing back up towards the light. And we're no different, right? We're fancy talking plants. So keep working on that life of beauty, and that you're working on, the life of your dreams. And know that you're loved, you are protected, you are safe, you are supported, and there's huge amounts of cosmic energy just just there, just ready to propel you in the direction in which your eyes are focused on and locked on. I love you so much, and I'm going to start the monthlies real soon here. So I'm looking forward to starting to do those again. Thank you very much for being here. And please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Again, I'll leave my TikTok below and my email. I do personal readings over like Zoom. And if you're interested in receiving a personal reading, please email the email below. I charge $40 for about an hour and a half. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So blessings, and I'll talk to you soon.